Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the Ramsey Custom Shop. My name is Gary and welcome to this introductory video that you paid for to walk you through the entire process of showing you how to get a beautiful show car-like finish on your CNC metal art. This introduction, I want to walk you through some of the very basics, and then we'll get, after this video, we'll get you through the main details and all the steps involved to take a bare piece of metal all the way into a beautiful finished show quality paint job. So let's get started with this introductory with the basic overview here. All right, so the one thing that we're not going to cover in this video is the metal work part of it. We're assuming that you know how to do fabrication, you know how to run your CNC plasma table. This is really about the finish and the coating on it. But one thing I wanted to mention that is metal related that you want to really make sure you do on anything that you make is do all your fabrication first before you put the paint job on it, because you may have to weld something, you may have to drill a hole, you know, for a mounting location, that kind of thing. And you can see we have a hanger that's a piece of TIG rod already welded to the back of this, and it's right in the center in a balanced location with a little room for adjustability, and it's hidden from view from the back, and it's all integrated in so that you see no fasteners, no hangers, nothing from the back side. So you want to figure out on your piece how you're going to hang it and make sure that you get that fabricated in before you start doing any prep for painting, and definitely before you put any paint or primer on it. Okay, well, I've got this paid customer paint job here, and I'm going to make this training video series on using these actual customer jobs. Now, one of the things that makes this interesting to do is that we have two different types of paint jobs that we do, and each of these two pieces are, one's going to get one type and the other was going to get the other. This is basically the state of Tennessee's flag, has this logo in the top left, or maybe in the center of it, and we're going to paint this with the Tennessee Volunteers color matched base coat, orange and white. This one here, the other Volunteers thing, is an extra piece I'm making to give to the customer because they've been a repeat customer, and we're going to paint this with candy orange. And so when you have regular opaque automotive base coat, there's one type of prep process that you use for that, and then when you use candy paints, there's a completely different type of prep. And so once you get through this orientation basic overview video here, you're going to want to, the next two videos are going to show you the metal prep for the two different kinds of paint jobs. And so here we're going to look at just a quick overview of the products that I use and some of the techniques just at a very high level, at a basic overview that you want to consider. So in this first section right here are two different kinds of products. We have an epoxy primer, and we have two different types of adhesion promoter. And one of the things that you're going to get with this video series is a link to where you can purchase all these products at. So for jobs or projects that are going to get an opaque regular base coat, a non-candy, non-translucent base coat, you want to use a good epoxy primer for that. And that's automotive grade epoxy primer. You can get a few different brands. This is one that is available here at the local PPG store. Again, I'll have links to where you can get this these kinds of things. And I'm going to have a special video talking about epoxy primers and how you can save money by using epoxy primer also as a base coat. So the primer can serve as the primer and the base coat as well, depending on what color that you're using. All right, so that's epoxy primers, and those are meant for jobs that are going to get an opaque base coat to go with it. This is adhesion promoter. It's primarily used for plastic bumpers in the automotive industry that are known to have difficulties and where you can't spray you know, a thick, heavy primer because the plastic bumper needs something that's flexible. Otherwise, the paint and plastic will crack. This is primarily used for that, but we actually use this when we want to go over bare metal and with the candy paint so that we can show some of the grinder swirls and the patterns in the metal. You want to use the adhesion promoter because you need something for the candy paint to stick to, but you can't use a black or gray epoxy primer because you just cover up all of your beautiful detail work. And we're going to show you that detail work and how to do the grinder swirls and get your metal prep for this. But I just wanted to show you the two different kinds of products that you would pick from depending on what kind of paint job. And we'll talk about that more. So the next thing we're going to look at are these two things, and this is just going to show you the differences between opaque base coat and translucent candy coat. So let me open these up and show you these. All right, so the first one we got here is a candy orange, and let me just pop this open and show you a look at this. This is candy orange. It's got a very, very translucent look to it. And let me show you, when I say translucent versus opaque, let me show what I mean by that. So you can see this one, you know what, this is not a good stick to look at that on because it doesn't have a lot of grain showing. So you can see the grain running in this paint stick here. So that'll be a good indication of the translucency. So if you see that I pull that out, and you can still see the actual grain through it. So, which the grain in this wood kind of reflects or indicates the same thing with the patterns that we put in the metal. So while it's giving it the orange look, it's also left the grain look in there so you can actually still see through the paint and into the grain and into the look. So if you compare that to an opaque base coat, this is just a regular Ford Grabber Blue base coat. Let me stir it a little bit. If I pull this out, you notice it's solid. You can't see any grain, nothing going through this. Now I've already reduced this base, so it is a little on the thin side. Normally when you open base up, it's not reduced and it's super thick, and that's why it's running this way. It's ready to spray basically. But again, the difference there is that this is an opaque base, so you're not really looking to use the metal as part of your artwork and the grinder swirls. You're just looking for the use of the color and the coverage. All right, so those are our two kinds of color coats, either a translucent regular base coat, or like the orange is the candy. So again, if you refer to the video on the shopping list basically video showing you where to get this stuff out, how to buy it, how to mix it, how to look for it, and that kind of thing. So the next thing I'm going to show you here is once you get your base coat down, whether it's a candy coat or an opaque base, you can use any number of pearls and flakes and other effects to really enhance the look at it. And this is the Cadillac Black Diamond mid coat. And this is a pearl mid coat that goes on top of the Cadillac Black Diamond. So let me stir this up here and show you this. Get the pearls mixed up in it. This stuff really pops like crazy. Now you're not gonna see it too much in this because again, this is already mixed, ready to spray, and I don't have it mixed really good, but let me try to mix it up a little bit more so you can get a better look at it. And again, this is just you can see it a little bit on the end of the stick, and the way, you really got to get a reflection in the light, and this is just an additive to get you a pearl effect into your base or into your candy. So this is just an additive that we would add. Again, this is the overview video. I'm just giving you a high-level overview of these things so that when we get into the details, it'll make more sense. The next thing I wanted to show you here are the clear coats. And I've got a couple of different kinds of clear that we use. This is PPG's 2060. It's a pre-flattened clear. If you want to get a really satin matte looking finish on your paint job, but have it be very high quality, very nice looking, something that you cannot achieve with a rattle can. This is, something like this is what you would use. This is kind of expensive. You can buy other brands that are cheaper that work just as good. This just happens to be the one I have right now. And then Urichem clear, you see we've got a few different kinds of Urichem paint. You'll see that throughout our work here. And this is the clear coat I use. This is really, really nice stuff for a relatively inexpensive price. I believe this is about 120 bucks for the gallon and the complete setup. And you can buy cheaper clear, there's no doubt about that, but the cheaper clear is not going to give you the kind of look and the thickness and the flow out that this will give you. And again, if you refer to the shopping list video, you'll see where you buy this, how to buy it, how much it is, and all the details of it. Okay guys, that's it for our overview video. Again, we're gonna get started now on doing these two paint jobs, two different kinds of paint jobs, and we're gonna be doing our opaque color matched orange on this and our candy translucent orange on this with grinder swirls and effects, and we'll show you all that.